Hi, let me show you our Scenic 500 tent. The Scenic 500 is a classic 3-pole tunnel tent, which makes it very easy and very fast to pitch. It sleeps up to 5 persons. The Scenic 500 is a part of our adventure range, meaning that we're using our Hydrotex 5000 fabric. It's a polyester fabric with a PU coating on the back, and all seams are fully taped. It has a hydrostatic head of 5,000 millimeters. At Robens we have our own rain facilities to make sure you'll find no leakage in the tent at all. The poles and the pole sleeves in the tent are color coded to make it very easy to pitch. We're using our power stability frame, which is a steel pole which is powder coated and is very strong and stable. At Robens we test all the tents in our own wind simulator, and the Scenic 500 tests up to 138 kilometers an hour. To further increase the stability in the tent, we are using our own storm guard system. This is simply a webbing material which is used to connect the fly sheet and the pole, and the way it's connected is simply by wrapping it around the pole like this and then pitching it. On all guy lines we have a little retainer which is used to organize the guy line when it's not in use. That way when you pack down the tent and need to use it the next time, it won't be tangled up. On both sides of the tent we have a big ventilation opening. You have one here and have one on the other side, and you also find a big opening in the rear end of the tent. All ventilation openings can be closed in bad weather. Ventilation is important in the tent because it helps give a good airflow and it helps minimize condensation inside the tent. As you see, the Scenic 500 is having a nice and big front opening. Let me show you some of the different ways you can use the front door. The door can be opened from both sides, and you can choose only to open a part of the door like this. And that way you can have a shelter in this part or in the other part of the tent. Even in bad weather you can have some extra ventilation by only using the upper part of the door. Because of this great canopy, you'll still have some protection from the rain. To stay protected from mosquitoes and other insects, you can choose to use the full mesh door. It can even be opened in rainy weather, because the lower part is still waterproof and you still have the protection from the canopy on the top. As you can see, the living area is having a fully standing height and is roomy enough for having a table and chairs inside as well. The ground sheet is fully sewn in, and the floor material is polyethylene with a hydrostatic head of 10,000 millimeters. You'll find a big window in each side, and the windows can be fully opened as well. Both windows will have curtains. Which can either be partly closed or fully closed for more privacy. The inner tent can easily be zipped on and off. And another good thing about using a zipper is that it helps distribute some of the stress you'll normally have on the seams. On the front of the inner tent you have a nice little organizer here for your small personal belongings. On each cabin we have a mesh ventilation opening with its own curtain on the back. The inner is also what we call a universal inner, meaning that if you don't need all this sleeping area, you can zip out one of the compartments. If you want to have one big room, there's a divider between the two rooms, which can also be opened and make it one big room. Like this. On the rear end of the tent we have another mesh ventilation which corresponds well with the outside mesh ventilation. In the roof we have what we call a blackout inner, which helps take some of that early morning sun and gives you a better sleep in the morning. In the corner you also have a little mesh pocket. To sum up, the Scenic 500 is really a nice family tent. It sleeps up to 5 persons, has lots of details and features, and it's very easy to pitch.